Hi guys, and welcome to Thankful Thursdays again with Rachel and I. So the question that Rachel and I are looking at this week is, people talk about the cost of illness and of recovery. What did your eating disorder cost you, and is recovery worth it? I know this is a little bit different than the usual questions, but I really liked it, and I think it can be helpful to hear people out the other side, their experience of it, what they did lose and how difficult it was, and is it worth it? Because certainly when in your eating disorder it doesn't feel worth it. So I thought this could be a really valuable question to answer. So what did I lose to my eating disorder? I suppose the most obvious thing is weight. With that I lost muscle mass, bone density, I lost teeth, I lost hair, I lost all of those things. So to go back through those a little bit, I'm actually only 5 foot tall, and it's quite possible that that's related to my eating disorder. It's quite possible that I should have been a little bit taller, and I do have osteoporosis now, which it's always going to be there, and it's always a thought when people invite me to do things and I can't do that because it's too dangerous. I mean, I'm 23, I should be able to go and do whatever I want, but because of my eating disorder that now isn't always going to be possible. I'm not going to be able to do certain things. And I lost hair, like I said, lost lots of hair, and I actually ended up cutting all my hair off as well. So I really did lose all of my hair, so that was quite drastic. The muscle mass I lost gave me lots of pain, it made it difficult to walk, it gave me a lot of back problems, and I already had a back and shoulder injury, and the muscle weakening just made that so many more times worse. I've also been left with problems with my bowel and problems with my stomach, and those are both things which bother me every single day and probably always will do, and I'm not going to ever be able to forget about those. Some of the things that I lost were opportunities. I was at university during my eating disorder, and I was quite lucky in that I was able to stay on my course and that the staff were really supportive, and I did complete my degree. However, I did lose a lot while I was there as well. I couldn't socialise like everybody else could, I just wasn't well enough to do it. I couldn't have, gone out to pubs and partied, I couldn't meet up with people because I couldn't cope with the academic need as well as the social need. I just simply wasn't well enough for that. And I suppose back to friends at university, they're not the only friends that sort of missed opportunities of friends. I lost actual friends that were already friends as well. Several friends at the time couldn't cope with my eating disorder, didn't know how to see me going through that, and I lost them through the process as well, and it's just become very isolating, and I've lost those friends now, and they're not friends that I'm probably going to ever be close to again. So in my recovery I have sort of started to have to form other friendships, which is good in forming new friendships, but it is sad to not have, the old friends that I grew up with that couldn't cope with my eating disorder. And something else at university was I started an MA in the course I was doing, and I very quickly had to stop because I had to decide whether I could, continue my academic course or whether I was going to stop and take care of myself. And I was really, really lucky because the day after I decided to stop, I was back in hospital and with a bowel problem, and the doctors were really scared and said I smelled like I was going to die, whatever that means. So that's something else. And I very did nearly lose my life that time and many times before that as well. And people do lose their lives to eating disorder. That's really quite possible. I guess other things I lost was memories. Now that seems odd, but I can't remember much during sort of the worst year of my eating disorder. I know I did things, I know I wrote a dissertation, but I genuinely have lost large amounts of those memories because my brain just didn't have enough energy to store memories. So I lost all that time and all those memories. I lost all the time spent sat with my eating disorder and only my eating disorder. What could have I filled that time with? What might have I achieved? I also lost trust. People don't trust me, not even now, particularly with food, and it doesn't matter how well I am now. If I don't eat something, you know, my partner, his family will always question it. They're not finding it easy to trust me now, so people lost trust in me as well, and I think that's quite difficult, you know, because when you're in recovery you need to start, you know, being able to learn to trust yourself, and it's hard to trust yourself when other people don't trust you. So I guess I lost an awful lot, and I imagine that's just, you know, some of the things I can think of off the top of my head. But moving on to the second part of the question, because I could go on forever, is recovery worth it? And without a doubt, 100% yes. I mentioned in the video last week that I'd gone out with a big group of people and ate for the first time. And I've been doing a university evening course, and I got offered a couple of sweets last night, and I took them, and it wasn't until about an hour later I realised I'd done that without the thought. So I really have found genuine recovery from my eating disorder. I don't have, you know, the anorexic voice in my head anymore, which used to berate me so much. And recovery was so difficult. Like I said, I had to leave university, and I had to, you know, just spend time on myself. And that actually leads on to something else that my eating disorder cost me as well. It quite literally cost me in private therapy. I have been having counselling for about 20 months, I think. So, and that's been private, so that's been something I've paid for. But it has so been worth it, because I've really found myself in a way I don't think other people do, because they're not given the opportunity to. And it's been the most painful, horrible, awful experience. But to be where I am today, as well as I am today, knowing what I know today, is just absolutely fantastic. And I've been quite lucky in that opportunities have fallen for me since I've been well, and I've been able to do volunteer work, and I've been able to do an evening course, and I've been able to get a job. And you know, you have to go through the process and see what it finds you, because what's the alternative? That you keep losing things until eventually you lose your life? Because that's what it comes to. And so hopefully that talks around that a little bit, and I could say so much more, but I don't want to go on for hours. And hopefully Rachel will give a different perspective, and that'll help too. So if any of you have any questions on this, really do message me, because like I said, I've got quite a bit to say on it. So I'll leave it there, and until next week guys, take care. Bye.